Today's consciousness, today's consciousness, today's consciousness. What happened and how can we change it? From the pristine position that we held in today's consciousness, here's a new show just for you every Tuesday called Today's Consciousness. Be there and enjoy all the great special guest stars that will be passing through on a new show called Today's Consciousness. Today's Consciousness. Today's Consciousness. Are you ready to address all the things that are going on? And how can we heal today's consciousness? Today's consciousness. Today's consciousness. Right here on KSP TV. Today's consciousness. What happened and how can we change it? Welcome to another episode of Today's Consciousness in the Conscious Community. Held every Tuesday or every other Tuesday. I want to welcome all the people from Facebook, Instagram that I'm broadcasting on live. Welcome. We have a special youth session going on today. Oh man, we're going to get it from the young. She's not that old. She's in her 30s, but she's early 30s. And I know that the young people that grew up in this or that was introduced to this have something to say. And also I'm going to talk about today on Today's Consciousness with the one, the only Paris Williams. She's an entrepreneur. She's a spiritual advisor. She's an author. Oh man. But we're going to do a special analysis today from one of the young perspective. You know what I'm saying? And we're also going to touch on self-care and healing for women. And I know, women have a lot of healing programs and men don't have that much. The most healing a man get is going to the boxing ring or going to the gym or doing some type of meditation, which that has to change, or watching Canelo and Bud Crawford fight just last weekend. So, that's the much healing that we've known for so many years. And that has to change, where our brothers and our sisters been doing the work spiritually, but I know a lot of things has happened over the years. So without any further ado, I want to welcome on the stage for all of you. She's not new to my channel, so please don't think that she's new, but she is a part of the millennial generation. And I want to welcome our dear sister, the one, the only. Let me get that round of applause before I bring her on. The one, the only, Paris in the building. What's up, Paris? How you doing?
What's up?
How you feeling today?
Oh my God, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Welcome back, my sister. Welcome back, and I'm totally elated that you're here. Also, just want to make sure that we got your business websites and all that stuff up. Hold on, where it is? There it is. Bang! There you go. Of course, it's like magic. Bump, ba-na-na-na, dump, dump. And we got the Cash App in the building, and also her email can lead to PayPal too. So make sure you support, and that's for international. So people, when you're podcasters and other content creators, try to get something that's an international link for those who want to support England and all over the world. Cash App is not international. PayPal is, Zelle is, and I believe Venmo is, but I know PayPal and Zelle is definitely international. And welcome to this episode, the 23rd episode of today's Consciousness in the Conscious Community. How you doing, beautiful? How's Lavi, your mom, and everybody?
Everybody's doing well. Everybody is busy. Just keeping up with everything. How are you? How's everything?
Hey, you go through your ups and downs in this when you run in your own business, but at least you cannot be fired. You know what I'm saying? I go through my ups and downs. I've been going through some ups and downs in these couple of months. And, thanks to Kendall Cobbs from Hypnosis with Kendall. I shout her out. She did a session with me about 3 to 4 hours, man, and I needed it. And again, brothers, if you're working on healing yourself, hypnosis therapy is good. Therapy in general is good. Having a therapist, spiritual therapy, but make sure it's balanced. And I wanted to talk to you about, of course, this subject here, today's consciousness in the conscious community. What happened? How can we change it? And how can we heal it? And of course, it's going to be audience participation. So give me a little time with it before I put in the link that you can cam up or you can call in. Did I set my phone? Let me make sure my phones are turned on. Yeah, let me check my phones, make sure that's turned on. And also, I believe so. Yeah, I got to make sure my phones are turned on. Can you still hear me? You can still hear me, darling? You can still hear me?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we hear.
Make sure, because I'm turning on everything now. So, but first of all, you're not new to consciousness. You've been around. You used to help me at my events when you first came into this. I introduced you to various places that you used to work at, like a Nicholas and other. And you've helped me. You've helped me do certain things, even at the Marcus Garvey Center.
Yes.
Different places. So you've seen what has happened from the Polites that we had, the Umars, everybody that you've seen. You've been around. So. And I want to get it from a young people's perspective. But first, I want to go down the road. And when did you acknowledge or got into what we call, quote unquote, the conscious community, my dear? Please.
Take
your time.
I would say that it just kind of came through the journey. I was reading like books on. At the time, I was just getting into quantum physics, the law of attraction, just coming from Job Corps. And I just kept on meeting people that was already in that alignment. So I was doing poetry when I got back from Job Corps in Connecticut. I started going to these poetry events. And a lot of the people at the poetry events was already tapped more into the conscious community. So it kind of like blended in with the books. And then I found Nicholas, which I went in there, got some books. And then that's kind of when I met you guys. And it's been here from there on out.
It's been a journey, right? It's been a journey, right? And,
absolutely.
What I'm proud of is that you've still kept it going. Whatever you learned, I've learned from other great teachers in my history. And big up to everybody that's on YouTube coming in slowly. Again, family, please like, subscribe, and share with those that are on a journey. If you're on a spiritual journey, like, subscribe, and share with those that are that want to grow. I don't allow trolls on my channel. And I'm going to pin her links on in the chat so y'all can. Matter of fact, her link is in the chat right now. So I want to make sure that her link is in the chat. I got it in Facebook already, and I'm going to pin it in. I'm going to pin it in the chat right here on YouTube. So, and Instagram. Big up to y'all. Thank y'all very much for tuning in. Again, we're doing a special analysis from someone who's young, who's been in it. You're about how old? 30 something now.
33.
33. All right, the master number's there. Hardcore. I like that.
Yeah.
You're staying on the master number. So you basically been into consciousness from throughout your 20s, right? Basically.
Yes.
20.
Yes.
So what have you seen that you recognize from early that need to be changed? And how can someone like you, one of the millennials, help heal and help the others that's coming up in this to heal and understand what's going on? And from your own perspective, please. Take your time, because
I feel one thing that I've noticed about the conscious community is that I wish we had more openness to other people's perspectives and their lifestyles. I know that everybody has a different walk of life, but we are still on the same journey. We're all human. And when I got into the game, it wasn't as diverse when it came down to people of color. It was kind of like you guys, how I felt was it was very just one way. Um, Opening it up to different walks of life will be really important, but also just the healing aspect, right? It was a lot of judgment. I felt a lot of the times that the elders were a little judgmental of maybe the younger crowd, or it was just a misunderstanding. So maybe having different perspectives, having more of conversations, a panel of where we can have these discussions without it being like, oh, you're wrong and I'm right, or just one other thing that I've picked up on is not enough conversations with the elders, right? Like guidance, what I'm saying. Like, we went into these events and we learned, right, through the lectures, but when it came down to actually having conversations and having brotherhood, sisterhood, mentorships, right? These are things that I felt like we have lacked in the community.
Okay, I like that. That makes sense. Because in my time of growing up into this knowledge of self, so to speak, that's what we called it back in the day. Being part of the 5% nation, and at the age of 14 myself, I think they was, the communities that I joined, they was for and by one another at one period of time, to the point that when you're in the 5%, not which New York NYPD did try to consider the 5% or the Zulu Nation or a gang, when we was basically, especially the 5%, was basically knowledge based,
Really?
and oh yeah. Before, because the gangs was out there, before the Decepticons and all the rest of them, and before that was like the Jolly Stompers, the Skulls, the Young Skulls, the Baby Skulls, the Savage Skulls, all of that. I remember they tried to induct me into the Baby Skulls, and I ran away from that as a young child. I was a little child. They was trying to get us the Baby Skulls, so it was trying to get us from 10 years old, come out there and do some wild stuff.
Absolutely.
But I understood my parentage and what would happen if I did that. I knew that. But in this day and time, when you say, I had a lot of support in the 5% nation, because they had enlighteners, and enlighteners would always be like an accountability person.
Yes.
Elder, because that's what we needed. That's what we need, accountability.
Even in the Nation of Islam too, they have more of a structure,
right?
That if you need a brother, you need a sister, you can rely, you can call, you can.
Right.
Not saying that is not in the conscious community, but there has been a divide after a while, or even segregation as far as like how much money a person had, or maybe the status a person's have, or whatever the case may be.
Right,
So
right.
yeah.
No, and you're right. I was in all those organizations. I was in the nation. I was in 5% at 14, and then I went into the Ansaro community on Bushwick Avenue, which they call the Nuapian today at
Mhm.
17. And then I went into the nation after I left the Ansars in 88, 89, 90. I was in the nation to keep my discipline, so to speak. And then I left the nation around 95, right after the Million Man March officially, and went back into clubs
Mm.
because of, but I took my discipline there as far as no drinking. I may have partied, enjoyed myself, hired some of the Nation of Islam to do the security there, and still was in the consciousness because I was still promoting conscious music and conscious reggae, and then
Mm.
I got and I think, like you said, they were, they could, as it got over time, judgmental things started happening. People judging you, older people judging you. They were
Yeah.
judging me when I was young, so I already know that. So as you're coming along now in this concept, and again, we're coming from a youthful perspective because again, around your 20s, like myself, was coming up in those fields and those. Again, it was called knowledge of self for me,
Yeah.
back in the day, and now we got this thing called conscious community.
Hmm.
Some of the ego. What did you notice about people's ego, both male and female? Because we can't. Even the women are doing it also.
No,
What
absolutely.
did you know about notice about the ego of people in conscious community while you was growing up?
Oh man, it's kind of subtle because you don't really pay attention to it until after.
Mm-hmm.
I have definitely experienced people who, you know, have had high egos or have mistreated people in behind the scenes, not even in the scenes. Like, not wouldn't do that in front of your face, right? Because they have a status, they have something to show for it.
Right,
But
right,
behind the scenes, yes, there's a lot of ego in the conscious community. But I give it up to Lloyd Strayhorn, and some of the elders that still check in and make sure that you guys are connected to us in a different level than just trying to talk and be judgmental. You guys are really open to a new perspective, and I think that's what a lot of the new age want, is more of a different perspective, or maybe seeing it from a different way than you guys have. But it's not saying that is we're disregarding anything that you guys are saying. You get what I
right,
mean?
right. Because I guess because we dealt with I don't even consider myself that old, but I know the elders now that are in their 70s or 60s or 70s or going into their 80s,
Yeah.
they've dealt with the enemy a little bit differently. They
Mm-hmm.
dealt with consciousness a little bit differently because y'all never had to be sprayed with holes. You never got whooped.
Mm-hmm.
You never had your breast bitten off by attack dogs like they did. So they seen the enemy differently. So I had to understand and be empathetic for that. Put myself in
Mm-hmm.
those shoes. When I listen and talk to someone like Ashraf Kwesi, well in his 70s right now, he will tell you that he almost got killed at certain points where a lot of us, we getting killed by each other, but not being killed by the police, the white cops or the white Ku Klux Klan member getting hung up. Y'all ain't really established. See, we and you never really seen that type of
Yeah, we didn't.
white folks,
Mm-hmm.
other than what we see with the police officers.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all police are bad, but I'm just saying they got their blue code in the society, and that's what we have to pay attention to. And as you're coming up into this, because I know you're also a spiritual advisor, do you see a lot of imbalance even now with a lot of the young people that's getting into consciousness? You see
Oh
a lot
yeah.
of ego and imbalance going on because you do spiritual advisory. What do you see more now that you see that's happening?
Now that we are in the age of everything's online, I feel
Mm.
like there's a lack of sacredness. Like, one thing I loved about us growing into it and me getting into the conscious community, and you guys, we had classes, we kept it sacred. We did record, but the recording was to make more money. It wasn't to post on Instagram, and we didn't have that. So it was a little bit more sacred. The conversations was in there at the class. After the class, you talk to the teacher. It was more of like an in person. Now, because you have TikTok, you have Facebook, you have these platforms where people are just so wanting this attention that they're willing to share these sacred information that needs to be saved. Needs to be saved. And so what's happening is that these I see a lot of people, definitely when it comes down to doing cards or anything like that, it's just they just want attention. It's like that is what they want. And it's like spreading a whole bunch of misinformation online that needs to be sacred. So having these conversations or having the classes online, even if it's private classes, Patreon, this is how we are used to doing things, having it more sacred, right? So what I see right now is just this energy of like everybody wants to say everything, right? They want to say things and kind of like replicate one thing that another person is doing to try to see if they could get more of whatever it is that the person is doing. You get what I'm saying? So
Yes.
you do numerology. Now you're seeing, people maybe take a little bit of what you're doing and a little bit of what brother, Lloyd is doing. And then, a little bit of these people stuff, but it doesn't feel original. Right. So you have a lot of replications of that same type of vibration, which turned me off about the even with the young people. That's why I cut off my locks and I decided to just kind of go in a different direction because it started to even become, and I told you that the way that the setups was in the house and the way that people started to portray themselves, it wasn't as authentic.
No. I'm glad that you said that because a lot of us, I'm older than you, of course, in my 50s, and you're in your 30s, and then you have those in their 60s and 70s. I think I'm in between the two. I can still go to Google and AI, but I'm still going to cross-reference with books that I've studied back in the day. That's what I loved about you. You buy a book, you read it, you study, you read my book, you read Lloyd's book, you'll see the comparison, and that's how you do cross-reference. I don't just read Lloyd's book. I don't just read my book. I have Japanese numerology. I got tarot. I got every little an eclectic collection, so I can be fully rounded on how I have Jehovah's Witness books. I have Mormon books. I have all kinds of books. I mean, I just lost 1,500 in storage. So 1,500 books in storage. So it's a serious thing that when it comes to studying, and I think because this is such a fast-paced society now, the age of Aquarius is fully in effect. You know what I'm saying? I see where you're coming from, and I commend you for even recognizing that, because a lot of people will ignore that and think, oh, man, you just want to push us back into the old times. But some of the old school was some good schooling because you knew how to cross-reference and see if this was real through another person's studies, but also if your pattern, cycles, and sequences that you're picking up through your intuitions is there. It's all there, because if they say nothing is new under the sun, that's the old quote. And I know that comes from an origin somewhere, but there is new things happening under the sun and new spirits coming in.
Come on.
What are they bringing? I brought this word numerovation. It was not in the dictionary.
You brung it down.
Boom. So I brought it down through my ancestors, through the dream, through the dream realm. So, that's why it's important what you do from your the tarot spiritual advisory perspective, but also your intuition is key, because I see you drop cards, but I know you do it also from an income. You really don't need cards.
No,
you don't need cards. I've seen you do it. I know you don't.
The cards is for entertainment. The cards is for the entertainment.
It's for the entertainment. Yes, and then you get a lot from just the vibration of knowing those symbolisms. And the numbers on the cards, so it all pans out and it all breaks down. So, the main thing that I discuss on this particular show is, as you see on the flyer, what happened, how can we change it and heal it? Because I believe the young people, yourself, myself still here alive on this planet can be of assistance to watch, because I'm going to be counsel after that. Y'all are there for the war.
Mm.
That's why they said in the Bible, young people for war, older people for counsel.
Mm-hmm.
That part, a lot of people are not realizing that. What are some of the deeper nuances or deeper things that you see that you would change
Mm-hmm.
and help to heal along your path? Because you got a little baby daughter and she's going to take it to
Yeah.
another level too one day. She's going to have to take it to as an old soul that she's born, as a water sign that she's born under. She's very sensitive and intuitive. And I thank you for sharing that part when you said she was looking through my book and she seen Black people getting beaten in the book and she
Yeah.
cried. That
Mm-hmm.
that was an old soul picking up on this is what
Mm-hmm.
happened to us.
Yeah, she's definitely have been through
Yeah.
something in her past life.
Oh yeah.
Um,
She's yes. Go ahead, please.
I can you say the question one more time because we kind of.
What do you see? How would you change it from
Oh
what you're doing now, and
yes,
how can you help heal it? That from and because you're going to be introducing this to your daughter. Your daughter is seeing what you're doing.
yeah,
Don't think just because she's on her tablet, she's not paying attention. She hears everything,
yeah.
feels everything. So go ahead.
Now that we have a shop and
Mm-hmm.
things, I see things from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I one thing that I would love to do is, and I will do, is help. I want to help as much as I can with information for people who
Mm-hmm.
don't have the information in some type of way, shape, or form. I'm not saying that the conscious community didn't give the information, but I'm talking about building building more of active, hands-on activities where people can see progress in some type of way. Like if it's mentorship, like we spoke about, if that is like I love that you brought up the hypnosis, right? Or therapy. If we could find maybe therapy, finding connections to be able to give the information to the people who need it.
Right.
And so building community, and not just saying building community, but building community to where it's like, okay, if you need help building your LLC, I have a person that can contact you. If you need to make the consultation at the shop, this is what we're here to do. You get what I'm saying? Not It's not about the money, it's about building the community and making people more better. So one of the things that I will do, and one of the things that I will see happening, is that you will see more of the younger and even the older crowd building more together, and coming together and finding those resources to be able to build, because that's what we need right now. We
Mm-hmm.
need to build more so we could be able to save more. You
Right.
know, everything is being taken away from us, between properties, people, deed theft. People are home. A lot of people are homeless now. People are losing their jobs. So being able to give people skill
Mm-hmm.
sets, right? If that is learning electrician, or building stuff from scratch, learning how to make soaps, and having also children workshops, right?
Right.
Science projects, doing things with community to where we could be able to build and hold each other accountable, and to be able to really expand in that way.
Now, you've been through a lot in your life from your young age.
Hmm.
I mean, we've discussed it on this show before, on my platform before. I don't really want to revisit it, but molestation and all that kind of craziness. We've talked
Yeah.
about it. And what I found is that a lot of women, a lot of sisters that I know that's born the same day as you, they gone through it too, the same day. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn.
It's
And I know the
crazy.
energy. I know that, and that's why I usually, when I consult parents, I'm always telling them what to look out for as far as when
Mm,
I see certain numbers.
yeah.
When I see certain numbers, why you got to be protective. Like your daughter, I know why you got to be protective of her.
Yeah.
So that don't happen, even in the family, even amongst cousins, amongst uncles and
Yes.
aunts and all kind of. That's why you have to be very. And I was very key and pointed about that because I always wanted to protect my girl children, and I always sent them to their mother. Bathe them, please take care of them, please and bring them to me when they get older, so they know what to do for themselves and all that. If we're not together, very cautious about that, because I know people are, the way I lived back in the day, especially when I left Islam, condos, I had parties, doing all too much stuff, and I just didn't want them to see that type of stuff, especially my boys. So I know what I went through leaving the discipline and then going back into the club life and the multiple parties that I had, whether it was a pool party, a swingers party, whatever I did. I tell people I wasn't the one that was original official swinger. I just knew that I could make money, and I had to make some money to make sure I take care of my stuff, the cars that I had and the stuff that I had. Those parties was the one that helped. Regular club parties, pajama parties, all types of stuff I threw. I never threw a gay party. That's one thing I never did. So I'll let y'all know that wasn't my thing. This generation is kind of mixing the parties, the sex, the polygamy, the poly, and all that into one big bag without having some type of limits. Would you say that would be accurate from what you see?
I mean, thank God I missed that part. You know what I'm saying?
They had the smoke parties. Let's be real. We've been in the basement smoking, and things could go that way.
I'm going to say, thank God I was not a part of that type of vibes at all.
Good.
I've been, I'll be working. You know how I am. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't working, I ain't there. If it ain't about work, I ain't there. But definitely, I see. Definitely in where you live at in Atlanta, respectfully to all my Atlanta people.
New York too.
Georgia, you know what I'm saying?
New York. That's why I don't go out unless it's something me and Brother Rich is doing, or somebody I know.
New York is just a melting pot, but it's it does happen. But Georgia, I could say that is a little bit more promiscuous out there, a little bit more touchy, a little bit more free out there. In
the consciousness, there's a lot of poly, and I don't know how you feel about poly, what they call short for polygamy or polyamory or whatever it is. Poly, accent free, whatever it is. Poly, you want a cracker? I don't know. I don't know.
I've had a few poly relationships with both. I've had two female relationships, two women and me. Right. And then I also was with my first boyfriend and a girl. And then, we would alternate women with the boyfriend I was with at the time. So
see what I'm saying?
I've had my poly relationships, and right now I'm in a relationship, right? So right. I'm off the market, but I'm not going to say that it probably might not be something that it won't happen in the near future, because it's more than just having sex. It's about the building. It's about building legacy. But you have to have emotional intelligence for that, and that's right now where a lot of people are lacking. Right now is that emotional intelligence. Or even discipline. People are, like we said, ego, and people do it for the what it looks like, but when it comes down to the actual building, is the most important part. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And big up to Abundance in the building, and people like Kendall, she's here. Everybody's in the building, and they shouting you out. And and again, there was a difference back in the day with polygamy or polygyny, and than it is today, because I don't think that they're guided by children. They're not guided by the elders to know the protocols. That's not always. Saying. It's not sexual, and it's not a damn menage a trois just because you got into polygamy. Sometimes it's not even supposed to be that. It's supposed to be woman, the sister wife is supposed to be helping to take care of the other sister, the other one is supposed to be helping, and the woman is the one that's supposed to pick that man too. Supposed to pick that other woman for that man that they
Brother
dealing with
King
too.
Simon, I'm not gonna put that. I'm not gonna put that out there. Remember that one time?
Yeah. I know, right? I know. Shoot. But they do, and the women is supposed to pick the man, pick the other woman for the back in the day.
That's a
And again,
fact.
there's protocols. There's a lot of protocols to this. There's a lot of real things that are placed in to make a polygamous or polygynous or whatever lifestyle you live in, and that can get deep, and what's the name? Kendall said, I can't even share snacks. Kendall's stupid. You can't even share snacks. Poor you.
That's why I said it takes some emotional intelligence.
Yeah, emotional.
I don't know, and this is just my own ignorance, so
right.
A part of my ignorance, right? But the only way that polygamy also worked out for me in the past is because I really didn't care too much about the two people. And it's messed up. If I care about someone so much, like if I'm like really in love with you, I don't know if I can really be polygamous. And maybe that's just my own, selfish ways. I want that person to myself. I don't want I want to share. But when I did do polygamy, it was with people I really didn't really care about. I was like, all right, we doing this. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. I mean, look, I had a wife ask, I had two wives was asked by the women or one asked the woman and the other one. And back in the day, my first wife, she asked another person that I knew asked her if she could be a second wife to me when I was 18, 19, and it's so funny. The woman said, my first wife, she said, he's not ready for that yet. And I probably wasn't. So she knew what it was. I wasn't ready for that. We was just moving to Cleveland and all that craziness. And that was hilarious. But hey, at least she asked, and you gotta, and if you're inquisitive, cool. If people are inquisitive, and then, you got one of my other wives.
That was not the first time. You had a few of them ask.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I know. I remember when one of my ex asked you. I think that was funny.
That shit was crazy.
That she would even do it, and I found that very interesting. I won't mention which ex that was.
No, we're not gonna do that.
We're not gonna mention that because I know she watched my show. But yeah, they asked, but I'm happy that she thought both of them deemed that I was worthy to even have somebody to help build like that. You know what I'm saying? And that goes a long way because I never told them to do it.
Really?
I didn't tell her to do it. I didn't tell her to do it. No, she felt that, and that's what women are there to say. You would probably make an extra good person in this realm. And that was it. That was funny. But let's get off of that subject and keep it moving. Because you're in a whole relationship, girl. You're in a whole relationship. Big up to Kiki in the building, Kiki Television. TV in the building, Kiki. So and Kiki know me from my club life, so she know how wild I was, and big up to her. And I had to, back in those days, even being conscious and still in the clubs, conscious and then conscientious. I would say I was half conscientious, doing the right thing, but in the clubs I was still doing the wildest stuff.
Yeah,
but yet bringing consciousness to the nightclub because I used to have events and have speakers during the day. I'll have an event in the day. I mean, Abundance even spoke at one of my events at a nightclub. Polite spoke at one of my Taj Tariq Bey spoke at one of my events at Temptations nightclub, packing the house. We packed the house, and it wasn't even a club night. It wasn't even no music, none of that bullcrap. It was just us, the microphone, vendors, and people just teaching knowledge in Temptation right there on Flatbush the church.
Wow.
Because I believed every venue had the potential to house consciousness because it was a venue. And as long as I knew the owner would say, yo, Simon, your people don't drink. They would either go to the bar and get some orange juice and get some water or whatever. And there was those that did drink. You had some conscious people that still drink and smoke and do their madness.
Oh, yeah.
I understand that. I got it. But but we kept, I had Asir over there at Temptations one time. I had you there. Yeah, I had a few people at the Temptations speaking, doing lectures during the day, and there's a whole club at night.
That's crazy.
Whole club at night. So I think that was another way of spreading that type of knowledge to help get the message through. And I was willing to promote in the nightclub also. Some people wouldn't come to my events because they wasn't ready. Some people wasn't ready. You know, Kiki is in the audience. I know she wasn't ready to come to one of my conscious events because she never came to one in Temptation. She came to Temptation for the clubs. Wow. I'm not putting your stuff out there, Kiki, but you know, we come from that life. We came from that life. And I always loved Kiki, how she carried herself and how she just had this whole look about her. And I said, okay. So big up to Kiki, how she did things. And going back to changing it, do you think that the conscious community needs to be changed in some way now, how it is today, because everybody's shining and doing what they're doing or carrying themselves? You're in the same age as Keys, 19 Keys, and Lisa Islam, and people like Brother Ben X, and a lot of these brothers that are coming up into the consciousness, all the new ones. What do you feel that needs to be changed, and how can they also contribute to it from your perspective, especially when it comes to women and the care and the help? Because a lot of women in the conscious community now don't feel that they're safe amongst us as men. That part.
That's how they feel it.
That's what I'm finding, that they don't feel safe, or people online is portraying that they don't feel safe amongst the men in general. There's a lot of men that still need healing and help.
Absolutely.
And they will put out a camera and want to show the camera instead of picking up and fighting for the woman on the train station. Me, I ain't gonna pick up no goddamn camera and see a woman getting attacked on the train. That was never my spirit. Yeah. So my camera stays in my pocket until we diffuse what's happening on that train station.
See, you are very into like fighting and different types of styles of fighting. Yeah. I feel like a lot of these men and women they lack a lot of the discipline. People like 19 Keys and these young influencers that's coming up, they're doing their part, and I'm very happy. I would love to see more work with the community as well with them. I mean, I know a lot of them probably do the community work. They're doing it from their own. But it doesn't feel good to hear that a lot of women don't feel safe. Because that is really, that's not good. Right. I personally don't feel that way. And maybe that is something that the women that are feeling that way need to heal within themselves, right? Because maybe it's not really they don't feel safe. They are attracting that because of the things that they have been through. So they're attracting more of what they don't want. You get what I'm saying? So when you start to do that healing work, you don't attract those things, and if you do, you're able to look at it from a different point of view and be like, okay, I'm not gonna put myself in this. I could be able to have resistance towards this and be like, you know what, I have outgrown that, so I'm not gonna put myself in that position. Right. So I for those sisters that don't feel safe, there's definitely some work that needs to get done, and maybe workshops where men and women could be able to heal. Like, I believe you had a few events at Nicholas where you brung, and I don't know if it was you, but you have brung like tantric,
it was Mo that did, but I did do that with Adara one time, and I don't think you made it to that one, but I did Adara, and I had them there, and and I usually do that, big up to Kiki. Kiki said, if I knew, I would have gone to them. I gave you flyers, Kiki, but you just wasn't in that element at that time. I'll be honest. I gave Kiki a flyer to a few events, but when you're walking in a club and you all engrossing drinking or hanging out with guys and girls, you'll drop a flyer, you'll lose a flyer, and I've seen my flyers all over the floor inside the clubs. I used to see, because remember, I'm there until it's ending, till the guys are sweeping up and cleaning. So I used to see all of that. So no fault on you, Kiki. It was just that, we was in the clubs, and that was just the party era. Nobody picked a flyer unless you fanning yourself with a flyer. That's all they was doing in the club, fanning themselves.
Exactly.
And then they'll drop it and throw it away and whatever. That's how it is. I know how.
Yeah.
I know that's why I made so many flyers, thousands of flyers, because I know a percentage of it. I wrote that in my book. No promotion is bad promotion. There's always a percentage I'm going to lose. I know this. That's why I did 10,000 flyers to 20,000 a month out there on them streets. So I understand. So, again, back to the safe. This is the big thing on social media and all of that about women not feeling safe. They're killing some of, and it's probably ignorant brothers that are doing it. I remember one time in the nation, there was a woman, one of our sisters that this back in the day, one of our sisters was a pen pal with a brother that was claiming that he was going to come out and be part of the nation and all that. She marries him and try to convert him, and whatever happened. Find out this guy is doing illicit stuff to her and crazy stuff towards her. So we had to, some of our brothers, I won't, say too much. We had to go and deal with that when we found out that was happening. And that's where we come from, that in the nation, where if a sister's being bothered on the street, there was a time when we would surround 10 to 12 brothers will surround the guy or the guys. Don't care how big you are, how small you are. Surround you, and 2 or 3 of them will go inside the middle of that circle and work it out.
Yeah.
Work you out and carry you out if we have to, or leave you in the middle of that circle, and then we disappear and go what we got to do. Nobody knows who, and when you come to the mosque, we're looking for Muhammad. Everybody's name is Muhammad, sir. That part. That's what we was taught back in the day. So I think we're lacking a lot of that.
Yeah.
We're lacking a lot of that type of discipline. And I see little groups here and there, big up to the unity groups and, the Hebrews here and the nation's still doing their thing here. And some of the Nuwapians are doing their thing here. But, and I see those little groups, but we don't see it. At one point, the gangs used to be the protectors of the community, the instructors of the community. Back in the day, it was our protectors of the community.
Yeah.
Nowadays, somebody said nowadays women strapped. Yeah. Until we get up, unless you let that man get up close to you. We was taught to take away guns in the Nation of Islam. We was taught that if you pull something and you wrap that up, you have the nerve to get that close. It's my gun. It's not yours anymore. And that's what we was taught. So
they teach you guys how to fight in the Nation of Islam?
Oh yeah, they taught us how to fight against attack dogs and all of that. Malcolm X and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad made sure we was taught that, and then it trickled down even into the nation to this day. We're not going to we ain't doing that, and that's what sisters have to learn. That's why I always incorporate and I always try to guide sisters to learn. I will, even if when I'm dating or when I was married, I'll try to show them certain moves, but I always tell even the people that I dealt with, go to a dojo that has insurance and different things that if you fall and all that, they got the mats where if you could break fall, they're going to show you. Because I was taught more unorthodox because I had to do bodyguard and security work.
Yeah.
And I'm a big frame guy, so I had to attack with strategic moves. I couldn't. I'm not battling with no big guy on the street for head and all that. I'm looking for lower extremities and cutting out tendons and cutting out. That's just my spirit. I'm going for your tendons and I'm ripping. I'm making sure you, after you finish the fight with me, you're going to remember. Even if you got a good amount of me, you're going to remember because I'm going to leave or something removed or something because I'm going for it. I'm not stopping because I'm there to come back. I got to get back home. Krav Maga, I've studied some of the Krav Maga. I've studied, of course, Sanukas, Vijitsu. Those are people that I've grown up with to watch that. And I think women need to, and I told Queen Afua in that consciousness of Queen Afua, what she does, she needs to have that a part of the training.
Definitely the training for the for not just women, for men too, because
that's right. Big up to Abundance because I know she trained. All the women in my circle train. Yes, big up to Abundance, and she trained.
Yes,
all that. So I know. I
Born
know.
on the earth strong. That's my twin right there.
He said absolutely necessary. Yes, it's a necessity for
Oh
real.
yeah.
Women, children, men, everybody changed. Everybody knows what they know, and everybody got each other's back. That is absolute necessity. So again, I don't, I'm not gonna go too crazy because I know you do a lot of spiritual work, and you work with the tarot. Have you seen that in this consciousness today, this conscious community today, that people really respect the tarot and really utilize what you apply or share with them through the lessons of your tarot?
Oh,
Huh?
you was glitching, so I couldn't really hear everything that you said. Can you
Oh,
keep
can you hear
repeating?
me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I hear you now. Hmm.
Okay, let me repeat. Being that you do tarot and certain spiritual advisory and work and all that kind of stuff, do you feel that the people nowadays are really listening to what you have to offer, and are they applying what you are teaching them or guiding them with? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I definitely, yeah. You just maybe it's like a little, glitch
Okay,
after, but I'm hearing everything that you're saying.
right,
Um,
right. Go ahead.
I have seen tarot grow, and I have changed the way that I go about reading. So I always
Okay.
try to give like more advice and
Mhm.
give some type of empowerment when I read to people, and not just give them what
Yeah,
drama, or what's going on with your ex and this, that, and the third. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yes, I definitely do make sure if I'm reading people, I am giving them that information. I'm giving them that advice. So if people really do listen to the readings, and they even email me like thank you, or they send donations because it
Mm.
resonates and it helps and it heals, and I give the advice. So
Right,
yes, it
right.
definitely I do see it.
Good. And are there more older people coming to you or younger people? Would you say?
You know what I noticed? I've been seeing a lot of older people around my
Mm.
mother's age, from 71, 70, around the 70s, 80s. They definitely have been reaching out,
Mm.
and they're more focused on like career, what's going to be the end, what I need to do, health and wellness. So this is like more of like the age group that does reach out to me. It's like more of
Mm.
the, I guess, with 40s, 50s, yeah, 40, 50s age.
Oh man, that's good for them to reach out for you. How do you
Yeah.
feel about the elders reaching out for you like that? How do you feel about that?
Now that's great, because they don't see me as like this young buck that's like, oh, she's just reading cards. No, it's like this is a business for me, and even though I'm young in the skin, the flesh, my spirit is very old, and the cards is just being read. So I love that the elders are giving me that chance to read them, because it gives them a new perspective.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm. Mm. Okay. Okay. I get that. I want to show your website. I do want to show your website if you don't mind. I can
Yeah.
show your website.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna want to show your website because you got a lot of stuff on there. If anybody wants to call in, or you want to, if you want to cam up, I'm gonna put the link in there. But she got a beautiful website here, and let me make sure that we are in the frame also. She got a beautiful website here. She's doing a lot at her website. Vegan soap. I know you still have the soap making classes, or no?
Yes, we do have soap making classes. We doing
Man,
soap making classes at the shop now.
good, good, good. So good. She got all the vegan soaps. She got some great, great stuff. Anything in particular that's out there that you're doing now that people can look out for at the shop?
um, we are starting to do the Granny Square workshops every Sunday. This first one is going to be the 21st. And the goal is to make a big community quilt using
Mm,
granny squares. So each person will come in and they'll learn how to make the granny squares. We'll make a whole bunch of different granny squares each time we meet, and then we're going to just come and put it together as one. So that's one of the projects that we have going on at the shop. And we're going to be doing a science project with the children, doing paper mache, learning how to do paper mache. And yes, other than that, we are doing the soap classes. The soap classes is open. You could go online, pay for the soap class, then you get your consultation. We've had people come from Virginia, people that come out of state just to come and do the soap classes at the shop. So, we make sure that everybody gets their experience when they come there.
Okay, that's powerful. I'm glad, I like that. People that want to come in, if you want to come in, I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now. If you want to come in, and also let me go through your website. You got vegan soaps, Bath and Body soap, Bath and Body soap classes, apothecary, gems, threads, healing herbs, and all of that. I see you was making your own tea or your own herb bags in there.
Yes.
What's that all about?
Herbal blends, different type of herbal blends. We sell natural herbs at the shop. There's a big apothecary, all natural, homegrown, farm, black, for the most part, black owned farmers that we're buying the herbs from. You get what I'm saying? So when I started the business, definitely the herbal business, the goal was to keep people of color, arts and crafts and anything that we do alive. So if that is by investing in farmers, and if that is sending them soaps for them giving me herbs, you get what I'm saying? That was our barter. And then it became big. The farmers started contacting me, and we became a staple of where people are able to get herbs, exotic herbs from Jamaica, Guyana, Honduras, Trinidad, different places where they could be able to get their herbs.
Man, I mean, you've had celebrities contact you, girl. Stop playing.
Yeah.
Stop
Crazy.
playing.
I need them back again. I don't know. I don't think the celebrities is doing well, man. They out here trying to fish for a little whatever they can, because they ain't making no money no more like that.
People going through it. Yeah, people going through it. Everybody going through it. But yeah, a lot of people going through it. Those who want to come in, I put the link in the chat. If you want to come in, you could ask a question. If you want to ask a question, if you want to call in, you could call in. If you don't want to show your face, but if you want to show your face, cam up and come on in. The link is right there. The number here is 718-210-8853. That's 718-210-8853 is the phone number. Please support the channel, Venmo, Super Chat, Super Sticker, Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, and make sure you support my sister. Spread love, spread love to my sister, of course. This is what we do. And she got a lot of things going on. But let's get downright and dirty here, sister. Let's talk about some stuff. How do you feel when a person in the conscious community is called out, especially if they're a young person that we all looked up to or whatever, they called out and either get arrested or locked up or get called out for some madness? How do you feel? Does that kind of, amongst your age group, does that kind of deter a lot of them from coming towards the consciousness because somebody that we thought was this phenom?
Oh my God, I hate it. There's this picture on Facebook of like all the conscious. I did you see it? It's like
I think I see which one you're talking.
Excuse my language. It's Brother Polite. It's Young Pharaoh, and I'm just like, it just sucks because I have been around all of them. I have cooked with other Polite's wives in the back. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm locked in with the community. So for them to be able to be like, these people are this, and it's just like, man, you guys don't even know the full story. And that's once again that whole thing about social media is like they love you right now, then they hate. They could throw you down, and it's just like, wow, like this is just crazy, right? You're in one of them, Abundance? No, she's not.
They put you got to come on. You got to come on and talk about that real quick, Abundance. Click the link.
Wait. Come
click
to the
link and come in and tell me about this one, Abundance.
What?
Jesus Christ. Abundance, you're going to have to click the link and come in and tell me what the heck are you talking about you in one of them. Who put you in Who put you in one of those things? Come on now.
But it
I
just
mean,
sucks. Like, I hate that.
I know people was attacking me because I was a promoter. Out of all the great people I promoted, out of probably just one person is gone to jail, and
No, I
they don't
mean,
look at that.
and
But
even with that, Brother King Simon, you was like 10 toes down, like, nah, that's not what's happening. Like you was locked in with homeboy, like, nah, that's not him. Until proven guilty, you did not believe it. You was just like, nah, that's not happening.
I was on the phone with him, and when it happened, I even told him, hold on, let me go to the phone lines. What's up? Who's on the phone lines?
Abundance.
Yay!
What's up?
Peace, sis. Peace, King.
What's up? Now, what happened with you?
What happened?
I'm in this group called African Americans Ain't African.
Okay.
And somebody posted one of the pictures that had me. I was the only sister in the House of Consciousness that, you know what I'm saying? And people were like, all of them are losers and don't know nothing, don't got no scholarship, just in it to win it. But what I love is in the chat was like, nah, Bunny Shaw ain't one of them. Like, nah, you know. So I like that the community came back and fought for me. And at the end, somebody was like, nah, all of them are what do they call them? Like snitches, or like what's that word that they be using?
What
when they say like you're a plant?
Oh, when they say you're a plant agent?
An agent. They're like, all of them are agents. I'm like, wow.
People are gonna hold on to their opinions because they've been scorned or hurt by somebody in their past. That's more like
crazy.
You know that.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. Mm-hmm. It's humanity that's always seeking others to govern themselves. Right. That's the one thing, which it was going to be a question that I had for her. How has Ifa's spirituality impacted her business, commerce, her life?
Oh my God.
Like all of those types of things. I just wanted to know that. But I would say the lack of Ori consciousness, the lack of knowing that you are absolutely a part of the all, and the illusion that we're separate is the thing that makes us looking for a new Malcolm X, a new Elijah Muhammad, you know? And so when you see people that you were all rah-rah about, and then all of a sudden they do something that you don't like, and all of a sudden they're an agent, it's because you were looking outside of yourself to begin with. So I never give that kind of stuff energy, because no promotion.
Bad promotion.
and everything just before I even answer your question, Abundance, everything you said was right. You know, it's like, you know, people forget that we're human. You know, people make mistakes, and it's like the more higher you get, the harder the fall is. You know what I'm saying? For real. People really forget that people are human. People go through things, you know. But to answer your question, as far as Ifa, you know, I did like a transitional picture of like before and after how I looked, and I have definitely seen a difference of my patience, my level of patience, maturity, and even the way that I conduct my business has been different since Ifa, and I give thanks for that, you know. But
I've seen your growth even in the things that you post and how you post. You're not as reactive. You're more, you know, you don't take the defense a lot of times. Like a lot of times you used to post things in defense that I could tell was coming from your feed, where now I see you taking more of an initiatory stance, and I love it.
Yeah.
Isn't she a reflection of you, Abundance?
That's crazy.
Absolutely. That's why I used to just look back, and I used to comment on her post a lot. I'm like, stop. I used to be like, well, actually, sis, it's really a reflection of you, or, you know, I would say certain things.
Right.
And then I just realized, I'm like, let her just go through things, because I used to hate when people did that to me.
Yeah.
Because you're really trying to make a point. That's where you're at. So I kind of fell back from that, and I really have seen a lot of growth, and I love it, because I remember that a lot of people always, you know, made me feel good about combating things. Right. And I'm just like, wait, that's not even me. Like, I'm just saying stuff to be saying stuff. That's not really what I want to promote. What I need to be promoting are my gifts and my talents, and let it flow from there. And as the universe is flowing, it's going to attract things to me. And I see that's what she's doing. She's stepping into that Olokun energy. She's got a lot of that Ogun energy, which is the creative aspect. You know, so that's why I wanted to ask, how do you see that just the medium of Ifa spirituality is helping you in your own personal cosmos. So that's good to see, because I definitely see your growth.
Thank you, sis. On that reflection, it's so crazy because I remember like a few months ago, Brother King Simon had you on the channel, and I think I was on the channel, and then you was on whatever, and he said, "Yeah, Paris, you gotta calm down." And said something like, you gotta calm down. And since then, I've been calming down. I still got a little crash out in me. I'm not.
And the crash out's supposed to come when it's supposed to come, but you gotta know how to balance it out. That's all I'm saying.
That's why I love
you just gotta know how to take that energy and the virtues. Like, you don't want to be those. You want to remember that when you start receiving these shrines and that ashe and stuff like that, that is the universe's way of trying to help you expand and to become the Orisha that you are. We forget that we are not just human, especially when you come into that spirituality. We're not just human, and people always want to stick to that. So I always try to remember that don't live for the 3D. You know what I'm saying? Create that reality in your mind, and that's what Orisha consciousness helps me to do. That helps us to do, because that's not like mythology.
Exactly. Thank you, Abundance Child.
We love you, Abundance.
Kitchen in the building. All right. Peace and love. All right.
Peace.
You know what it is.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, man. Abundance is real deal, man. You remind me so much of us.
I pray I get as cool as her, for real. See,
oh, sure you will.
So cool. I'm like, damn, like what? That's how I be sounding. Because like, if I sound like that, that just turns me on. Because I'm like, damn, she sounds so. Like,
and it's funny that both of y'all have you have one child, but you have a child that number is 8 too. Is connected to that number 8, and both of her children. One of her child is connected to that number 8. So big up to Miara and big up to Anana, and of course the new baby, the newborn, and all the rest of the family, John Carr and everybody over there, the Drop Squad Kitchen family, and all the Mother Earth, and big up to everybody over there. So again, man, it's a powerful thing to know that people are watching and people are seeing your growth and your development. Hopefully when you attract people, you don't want, Mimi is the 8. That's why I said big up to Miara, big up to Mimi. Wow. Yeah, she's born the 26th, and her daughter is born on the 8th. And your mom, your mom is an 8 energy also, and your brother and all that. She got a whole lot of 8s around her.
You already know.
Abundance got a whole bunch of 8s around her. So, and you got a Capricorn around you that's connected to the 8 also. So, your stepfather.
Yes.
Yeah, so big up to them. Before we get it, anybody else want to come in? You can come on in. I put the link in the chat. Y'all can come on in if you want to come up, or you can call in. But I'm glad that you're growing from the times. All the and you don't smoke no more, do you? You stop?
No. If I sometimes if it's a event and I'm feeling the need to do it, I have really cut back, and I could personally say also, maybe it was just the whole spiritual journey that made me, because I've drunk a lot. I remember passing on Fulton Street, and I think you was coming out of a basement full of smoke. I think it was about Brooklyn Moons. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is going on? I didn't even want to go down there. I said, I ain't gonna tell Mike to come up. I'll say what's up to him. But drinking
was a hobby for me. Like going to bars and bar hopping and stuff. That was like, it was a hobby, but definitely have changed, and I'm very thankful for that.
Man, I'm thankful. And before you had a child too, which I'm thankful for that too, because you did it before you had children. And again, it's all growth, it's all development, and I'm glad. And because even in there's people that are doing a lot of smoking and drinking and talking all kind of highfalutin knowledge and all that. They want to drop the knowledge, because back in the day when we smoked weed, it was especially with the Rastas, they was talking wisdom, reading out the Bible and all of that stuff back
They
in the day.
had exactly. It was something that you learned from. It was console as
It was
they were saying.
counsel. Then as it started progressing, now we here laughing and giggling at weed and just having a good old time smoking weed just to laugh, giggle, and eat food. And, I mean, I had a whole lot of different transitions in my life when it came to consciousness in the conscious community through music and all that type of stuff, because it's in all of them. Consciousness is in every little thing, and that's why you got those. Some people use their conscious for good, some people use it for negative. But on this last tip, I do want to make sure we show your website one more time before we get on out of here. I don't want to keep you up because I know you're a person that love your bed when it's time, girl.
Oh, you know it. You know me
get
well, baby. You know me well.
Get your sleep. Let's get all that. But again, this is our website, pwcollections.com. Let me throw that. Somebody else is calling in. I guess they want to talk to you. Hold on. Let's go to the phone lines. Yes, greetings. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, my name is Teresa.
Teresa.
Hi, King Simon.
How you
Hi,
doing?
Paris.
Hi, Teresa.
What's going
How
on?
are you?
Wow. She said, how are you, Paris? She said, how are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to hear you.
Good. I just called to say thank you to both of you. King Simon, I've learned so much since I've been watching your channel just a little over a year now.
Okay.
And all the people that you introduced, I follow.
Oh, wow.
And I've learned so much, especially from Mr. Lee. He is one of my favorites. I have a lot of favorites, but Paris, I'm old enough to be your mother.
You see what I'm saying? Like Teresa, I was just telling that to King Simon. Like a lot of the people that are attracted to me definitely is more older than me. So it's,
Good.
Well, I have a son that is your age.
Wow. It is.
But it's something to say that an older person, an elder, I'm beginning to be now. I've learned so much, and if more people my age would be open-minded to look past their own upbringing or lack thereof, or because things and times have changed, and not everyone is right. That was of our generation. We were just so stern and just taught a certain way to think and view things, only one way, not two or three ways. So I'm just glad that I've had this opportunity to evolve myself, King Simon, through all the people that you promote. And I've changed a lot.
Good.
I've grown and I'm changed. I just want to say publicly, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you.
Thank you very much for calling in, Teresa. Thank you.
Teresa, can I ask you a question? What makes you so open to listening to more of a younger person? Because definitely I've noticed, like I've had friends that were a little older than me, and then these people were more stuck in their ways, so it was hard for them to, and even learning from Brother King Simon, certain numbers where it's like number 4s, or certain people that might be a little bit more stuck in the way that they perceive things. What made you open up to, maybe I could listen from this young lady's approach, than not maybe just thinking, oh, because I'm older, my way is the best way? What made you open up and be like, maybe I could listen to her perspective?
Because I have a son that will be 32 tomorrow, and I have a daughter that'll be 38 this year. So I've changed the way that I view them because they've become older and I've matured more. It's just because I'm the parent doesn't necessarily mean that I'm always right. My children are young. They're young adults within their own right, and they have children now. So even from their children, I've learned different things, and they're old souls. Just those numbers don't lie.
Right.
They don't. I've just learned. I've always been attracted to astrology and to tarot, but it's like it was hidden back in my generation.
Right.
People were not allowed to talk about it, and if you had special gifts, they were always kept within the family. We knew about it, but you never talked about it to other non-family members. I think that's why I resonate so much with you, King Simon, especially you, Paris.
Well,
because I'm allowed to be more of an open person.
Teresa, what you got to remember, the circumstances that most of the elders grew up under. So
right.
they remember, some of them are coming straight out of colonialism. Some of them coming out of slavery. Some people, their family, their grandparents or their great grandparents just came out of it, and they taught that. So we got to give grace so elders can respect what they're doing and respect what the young is doing, because this is a different, like I said earlier in the show, I never experienced dogs biting at me or water hose being sprayed at me differently. Right. So we gotta know that they was right for their time. They was right.
Right. My parents were the people that were on the picket line.
Exactly.
And we were the children following along with them, carrying the signs. That's the generation I come from.
That's the generation you come from. And so that's so commending that you're able to change and adapt, improvise, and overcome in this generation. That's a beautiful thing. And you
guys are honest.
Right.
You can tell a fake from a realist.
Yes.
And so many people out there, I look at their channels, I'm like, this is the wrong energy. I cannot follow you because it's low vibrations.
You ever met Dr. Sabi?
She's not low vibration. I listen to you, Paris, and it's not even my side. Sometimes I listen for my daughter. Right. Or for my son, or for my sister. I just learned so much.
Right. And that's what I loved about Dr. Sabi. Dr. Sabi can converse with older and younger people and just talk. Right. Like he used to say, let me get up and just talk some shit. That's how Sabi was. I'm going to talk some shit and smoke his weed right in front of you and talk shit and just get and have fun. But he's going to drop knowledge while he's still talking shit. That's just how Sabi was.
Right.
So
I would love to meet you all one day. It's learn from you and from all of you. It doesn't matter what age you are. You can always learn something.
Where you live?
Changed my life. I want to thank you very, very much.
Where do you live? Which state do you live in?
Michigan.
Oh, you're Michigan. Okay. Big up to Michigan. Big up to the Michigan crew. All right. Thank you very much. I haven't been out there in a while. I used to go to Nandy's knowledge shop over there in Detroit.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. But I'd love to visit New York and stop by. In Paris, I want to visit your shop so bad, so I'll have to plan just to see you.
Yes.
Let me know when you're around. Let me know, because sometimes I'm not at the shop, so you gotta let me know when you're there, and I'll make sure I'll be there when you're there.
I will plan it a lot, way ahead of time.
Yeah, hit her up. Email her. Email her. Whatever you do.
Appreciate you, Paris, so much.
All right. Appreciate you too, Teresa. Thank
you, Teresa. We love you.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night. All right. Wow. See, you never know. Woo! That was a good thing to close out on right now. That was beautiful. Everything is beautiful. There's abundance of Dr. Sabi was and is the truth. Yes.
Oh, he was Africa too.
Dr. Africa too. He said what it mean what he said, but
Oh my God. He used to be talking shit, boy. He used to be,
The difference between both of them is that Sabi will sit right in his bedroom and have a whole bunch of people in his bedroom just laughing.
Chilling.
And everybody will tell you that. So, Dr. Africa was more to himself. He's more refined and scientist. He's always studying, always in research. I'm telling you, when I stayed at his house, the only time you see him come out, he comes out to eat one meal, and then he would go and play his piano, self-taught as piano, and he plays piano. I even got a recording of him playing his piano. I'm gonna share that one day. It was like real quick, and I caught him, and that was it. So big up to him, big up to his wife, Melanie, that's been doing the thing and all that stuff.
We love you, Melanie.
Yeah, love Dr. Melanie. So any last words for our audience, my dear? Thank you for coming out in regards to self-care and self-help and this consciousness, taking it to another level, especially for the young people. Any last words? Go ahead.
I would definitely say when you're ready for the teacher will come. Yes, right. The most important part is to just take it one day at a time, and for the most part, I will always recommend journaling and reading as much as you can. Learn another language. Like right now, I'm learning I'm learning Spanish again, right? Because I've learned Spanish and I stopped speaking Spanish and being around the whole family. Right. So I lost that dialect, and now I'm learning again. So my advice to all my youngins out there is to pick up a book, and if you can't pick up a book, at least get like a an ebook. Do something to where you can elevate yourself, elevate your mind.
Right, because
And
you got a funa, man, from South America. Got a funa, like Sabi and Mr. G.
Yes, Dr. Sebi. Yeah.
Big up to that. Big up to that. Well, thank you very much. I'm gonna let you go to bed now.
Yes, it's past my bedtime.
I know. Where's your daughter? She's sleeping already?
No, she right here waiting for me.
I'm sorry.
You didn't hear her earlier just now? She came in the room.
Labby, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Big up to Labby. Tell her I said greetings, of course. And when I come to New York, I'll make sure I come over there and see y'all. All right?
Yes.
Yes, I got to. Make sure y'all support. Y'all see her website is up there, everything. I put it in the chat, but I'll put it in the chat again, just in case y'all missed out. Her Cash App, spread love to her via Cash App. Her Cash App is $PARII123. Parry 123, and that's a Cash App. Make sure you spread some real love from her, man. It ain't no joke out there in them streets. We ain't playing in these streets. We got to take care of our people, man. We are forever, like Kiki just said, we forever the students. That's right. We always learning. We always don't learn. So again, it's in the chat. It's pinned to the top of the chat, her website and all of that, and her email. Thank you very much, Paris. You take care. Be safe. Be great in what you do, and we'll talk. Okay.
Thank you so much for putting me on the show, Doctor. It's always love, and I love you. Thank you, everybody, and we'll speak later.
All right. Peace and love. All right. That was another episode of Today's Consciousness in the Conscious Community. That was our dear friend Paris in the building. Let me show you her website again. That she's busy. She's busy with her products, man. She's busy with her new store and shop and everything else. Make sure y'all support what she's doing. Let me see if I can click on. There she is, getting to know Paris. She got all her bio and everything in there. Multifaceted individual doing her thing on higher levels, on higher ground. Let's go back to the home. This is where she be teaching classes and all of that. She got gems. She got bath and body, vegan soaps, all that kind of stuff. So, and her daughter's right there with her beautiful, precious self helping out. So big up to all my Facebook followers. Big up to all the people that came on Instagram. Big up to my people on IG. Thank you very much for being a part. Support the channel, of course. It's all there. PayPal, Venmo, Super Chat, Cash App. All of it is there, scrolling on the bottom. And family, have a great day, afternoon, and evening. You have been watching Today's Consciousness in the Conscious Community. And like two of our great conscious people always say, Dr. B says, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I am thankful for my life. Please be thankful for your life. And the late, great Dr. Blair used to say, please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. Thank you, Dr. Blair. Make sure you go to Dr. Blair's website. It got a lot of his legacy, a lot of new stuff up there. Big up to Brother Tony that's keeping it going. That's the metacenter2.com, the metacenter2.com. And make sure y'all support my brother, the one, the only Dr. B at elevationtime.com. And make sure you support Abundance Child at DSK Drop Squad Kitchen.com or the Order of Mother Earth. Make sure you hit her up. Abundance everything. Abundance Child everything. Hit her up. Waiting for your banner, Abundance Child. Stop playing. You know how we do. We got to wait for that banner to be sent to me, all right, for this YouTube channel. All right, so let me take this down so we could do what we have to do. And let me take this down so we can do what we have to do. Of course, again, make sure you support Paris Williams, everything that she does. All right. Family, remember, I love you because I love me. So you take care of yourself. You have been watching Today's Consciousness in the Conscious Community. Be safe, be great. One love. Today's consciousness, today's consciousness, today's consciousness. What happened and how can we change it? From the pristine position that we held in today's consciousness, here's a new show just for you every Tuesday called Today's Consciousness. Be there and enjoy all the great special guest stars that will be passing through on a new show called Today's Consciousness. Today's Consciousness. Today's Consciousness. Are you ready to address all the things that are going on? And how can we heal today's consciousness? Today's consciousness. Today's consciousness. Right here on KSP TV. Today's Consciousness. What happened and how can we change it?